Why you do this? Understand yourself. Attention shifts toward you, and your body tightens instantly. Eyes on you. A pause. Your mind starts monitoring everything. Because your brain learned that being seen can be risky. And in this video you'll finally understand why your system reacts this way, and what's actually happening inside your mind. You want to be seen, but the moment attention moves toward you, something inside tightens. It is subtle, but immediate. Your voice changes slightly, your thoughts become cautious, your body becomes aware of itself in a way that feels uncomfortable. Instead of expressing freely, you start monitoring. You check your words, you check your tone, you check how you might be perceived. From the outside, this can look like shyness or hesitation, but internally, it feels different. It feels like a quiet alarm activating. Being visible suddenly carries weight. Your system starts calculating risks that others do not seem to notice. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I reveal too much? What if people see something they do not like? So instead of showing yourself fully, you pull back just enough to stay safe. But what if that reaction is actually a sign of a very sharp social intelligence your brain developed early? Some nervous systems become extremely skilled at reading attention, group dynamics, and subtle reactions the moment eyes turn toward them. Your brain learned to predict how people might respond, before most people even notice the room changing. That is not insecurity, that is high-level social pattern recognition. The problem isn't that you notice attention so quickly. The problem is that your system still treats visibility like a threat instead of a signal. And in this video you'll learn exactly why your body shuts down when you're seen, and the first simple shift that lets you finally speak. Show up, and be yourself without that internal alarm taking over. You may notice this pattern in many areas of your life. Speaking in groups feels harder than it should. Sharing personal opinions feels strangely exposed. Posting something authentic online creates unexpected anxiety. Even positive attention can feel uncomfortable. Compliments make you shift the conversation quickly. Praise makes you uneasy instead of proud. It is not that you want to disappear completely. In fact, part of you wants the opposite. You want to be understood. You want to show your real thoughts. You want to participate without hesitation. But every time you start moving toward visibility, your body sends a signal to slow down. Not because you lack confidence, but because your system remembers something your mind may not fully articulate. The nervous system links visibility with safety based on past experience. If being noticed once led to criticism, conflict, embarrassment, or emotional exposure, your body stores that association. The brain does not separate the event from the state it created. It remembers that attention equals risk. So when attention returns, the same protective response activates. This mechanism is not conscious. It does not ask whether the current situation is different. It simply recognizes a familiar pattern and prepares you. Your thoughts may say it is safe now, but your nervous system is responding to memory, not logic. That is why the reaction can feel confusing. The present moment may be neutral or supportive, yet your body behaves as if something dangerous is about to happen. The trigger for this reaction is often small. Someone asks for your opinion in a meeting. A group turns their attention toward you. A conversation becomes personal. A camera turns on. A moment invites you to step forward. Instead of excitement, you feel tension. Your body becomes aware that it is now visible. Once that awareness appears, a second process begins. You start evaluating yourself from the outside. You imagine how you look, how you sound, how your words might land. This self-monitoring pulls your attention away from the conversation and into internal surveillance. The more you watch yourself, the harder it becomes to act naturally. And that pressure reinforces the urge to withdraw. When visibility triggers old alarms, the nervous system shifts into protective mode. Your heart rate increases slightly. Your breathing becomes shallower. Your body prepares before you even decide what to say. Muscles in your shoulders and throat tighten. These changes are small, but they are noticeable. And once they start, your brain interprets them as proof that something important is happening. Protection in this context often looks like hesitation. You speak less. You soften your opinions. You redirect attention toward others. None of this is a deliberate strategy. It is regulation. Your system is trying to reduce exposure. Because if attention once meant danger, the fastest way to feel safe is simple: become less visible. The difficulty is that visibility is part of everyday life. Conversations require participation. Relationships require openness. Work often requires expression. So when your system treats visibility as a threat, normal situations start to feel strangely intense. Not because they are objectively overwhelming, but because your brain is doing two things at once: participating in the moment, and monitoring how you are being perceived. That internal monitoring consumes attention. You start editing yourself in real time. You check your words, you check your tone, you check your reactions, and the more energy that monitoring takes, the harder it becomes to stay present. So visibility begins to feel exhausting, even when nothing actually goes wrong. The root of this pattern often lives in earlier environments where attention carried consequences. Being noticed may have led to criticism, teasing, punishment, or emotional pressure. Sometimes visibility meant becoming responsible for other people's reactions. Sometimes it meant being misunderstood. And when those experiences repeat, the nervous system learns a simple rule: attention equals risk. Children adapt quickly to these environments. They learn when it is safer to stay quiet. They learn when standing out attracts negative attention. They learn that invisibility can reduce conflict. These adaptations are intelligent responses, but the nervous system does not automatically update them when circumstances change. So the skill remains. Your brain essentially trained itself to scan social environments for the moment attention might turn critical. In other words, it became extremely good at predicting reactions before they happen. What feels like hesitation is often something very different: a nervous system that became highly skilled at forecasting the emotional risks of being seen. Over time, protective behaviors can become part of identity. You may start describing yourself as introverted, reserved, or private. Sometimes those labels are accurate, but sometimes they are simply the visible result of an old protection pattern. The difference is subtle, but important. When identity forms around avoidance, change feels threatening. Showing yourself more fully can feel like betraying who you are. In reality, you are not betraying yourself. You are expanding beyond a survival strategy. But without understanding this difference, visibility continues to feel like stepping outside your natural boundaries. Breaking this pattern begins with recognizing that the alarm does not always mean danger. The moment your body tightens, you can pause instead of retreating immediately. You notice the reaction without assuming it is accurate. That pause alone interrupts the automatic sequence. Instead of shrinking, you allow small amounts of visibility, sharing one thought instead of none, holding eye contact slightly longer, letting a moment of attention exist without escaping it. These steps may feel uncomfortable at first, but discomfort is not harm. It is your system learning that visibility can occur without negative consequences. Being seen does not automatically mean being judged. It does not automatically mean being criticized or misunderstood. Those outcomes exist, but they are not inevitable. Your past may have linked visibility with threat, but the present environment may operate differently. Reframing visibility as expression rather than exposure changes how your mind approaches it. Expression is not performance, it is participation. When you speak honestly, share ideas, or show emotion, you are not putting yourself on trial. You are simply occupying space. Transformation happens gradually. Each time you allow yourself to be slightly more visible without experiencing harm, your nervous system records new information. The brain updates its predictions. Attention stops feeling like immediate threat. Your body begins to remain calmer during moments that once triggered withdrawal. This change does not erase sensitivity. You may still notice attention more than others do, but the reaction softens. Instead of panic or shutdown, you experience awareness. Awareness gives you choice, and choice allows authenticity to emerge more naturally. Relief appears when visibility stops feeling like constant pressure. Conversations become easier, because you are not monitoring every word. Sharing opinions feels less dangerous. You begin to notice that many people respond positively to genuine expression. What once felt like exposure, now feels like connection. This relief can feel surprising. For years you may have believed that showing yourself would create rejection. Instead, you discover that authenticity often invites understanding. Not everyone will resonate, but the people who do connect more deeply. Integration means holding awareness of your sensitivity without letting it control you. You accept that visibility still activates your system sometimes, but you also know that the reaction will pass. Instead of retreating immediately, you stay present. With repetition, your body learns that attention does not always equal danger. It becomes another normal part of interaction. You participate more fully in conversations, relationships, and opportunities. Not because fear disappeared, but because you no longer let it define your behavior. Empowerment is the moment you realize you can tolerate being seen. You do not need to hide every part of yourself to stay safe. You can express ideas, emotions, and boundaries while remaining grounded. Visibility becomes something you choose, rather than something that controls you. This shift changes how others perceive you as well. People respond to presence. When you show up more fully, your voice carries more clarity. Your thoughts are heard more easily. You no longer disappear in the background of your own life. The goal is not to force yourself to be confident. The real shift begins when you stop treating the alarm of visibility as a command to disappear. The next time attention moves toward you, notice the moment your body tightens. Instead of immediately pulling back, slow the reaction by just a few seconds. Take one quiet breath and ask yourself a simple question. Am I actually in danger right now? Or is my system remembering something older? Then allow yourself one small act of visibility. Share one honest sentence. Hold eye contact a moment longer. Let your voice stay at its natural volume. You are not trying to become a different person. You are simply teaching your nervous system that being seen no longer requires shrinking. The fact that you're still here means some part of you has always wanted to show up more fully. Your hesitation around visibility was never weakness. It was a survival pattern your nervous system built when attention once carried risk. But something in you is starting to recognize that the old rule, being seen as dangerous, may no longer be true. So the shift begins with one quiet question. Is it actually unsafe to be seen right now? Or is my body remembering the past? Because the moment you ask that, the pattern loosens. And here's the question I want to leave you with. How different would your life look if you stopped hiding the parts of you that were never the problem?